heading up to see Mayhem Prospecting Braden and Tim. It is bright and early. Well, it's not so bright. Sun's not even up yet. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the last video. Hope you watched Braden's video. Super cool with the drone footage. But yeah. So I have a lot of this ahead of me, and I'm gonna let you guys go. And I will see you when I get there.
Here we are in traffic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, traffic. Not allowed speed, country. We're in this good town. Any bears? Bear? Bear? No. No. And it faces out right here. Oh yeah. That's it. We got Tim up there and yep.
Hey guys, I just want to say thanks for watching the video. Unfortunately, I did not record the first part of the tour for the Phoenix Gold Mine, but I want to... but let's start off right here, and I'm sorry about that. I totally thought I was recording, and that's my mistake, but we'll start out here with Gabe at the beginning of the tour. Thanks, guys.
You guys won't have to picture, 30 elephants or anything crazy like that. You just have to picture 30 of these mine carts here loaded with gold ore instead of flowers like you'd see in somebody's front yard.
And everything that we see is original from this exact mine?
No, this is all stuff that Dave and his father had to collect up to try and reopen the mine.
Yeah, I got you.
They collected this stuff from all over the West, but the majority of it's from Colorado.
Awesome.
Nice. And what is this one called?
That's a mucking machine. That's an IMCO mucker. Dave bought that from a guy who got it at auction out of the Homestake mine in South Dakota. It was actually underwater at some point, flooded in the mine, and he bought it and changed the oil in it and put new. The steel bridge you see is not original. They had to replace the original wooden trestle, but historically the mill there was actually an ore storage bin. They would store 30 inches of it. Now, my wheelbarrow is kind of unfortunately placed, but if you look up there where the sulfur is kind of washed away, you see where it's just the brown rock, and then a little bit lower there's kind of the more stained, kind of green, yellow-looking quartz there.
Yeah.
To the trained eye, maybe you can tell it's quartz. But anyway, out here at the surface, this is all we just see of the gold deposit. There's no like big Hollywood streaks of gold running through the mountain or anything like that. It's not like, out on the coast, or not coast, out in the mountains of California. But anyway, spread through that vein, there's microscopic pieces of gold, and I can show it to you inside by showing you a piece from out here at the surface.
Going into the Phoenix Gold Mine for the first time. Awesome, man.
So, probably not anything we can illustrate for camera, but if you guys look really close at this with the naked eye, can you see how small the reflective material left in this is?
Oh, yeah. Extremely small.
So we're talking on the order of 1,000th of an inch across, because I don't know if that'll come across on the camera, just to give you an idea what we're talking about here. But anyway, all the large pits and holes in this material used to be iron pyrite. It rusts, oxidizes out on the surface, and because the gold doesn't, you can see it's still locked up here in the solid rock.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, once this eroded away, that gold would be released and become placer gold out on the surface. Even though it's full of holes, it is pretty dense.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
What's the volume and weight per ton of gold that came out of here?
Well, the average for the mine is somewhere between about 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of gold to the ton.
Okay.
The production from where we're going to tour here was between about 60 and 80,000 tons, and I think about 60,000. Yeah, so I'll turn the lights on.
Oh man, that is so beautiful, dude. That's awesome, dude.
So that follows the gold deposit you saw out there on the surface, down at an angle, natural drainage and ventilation.
Look at that.
There's a larger level at this mine, 100 feet below us.
Winds.
And 200 feet below us.
How far have you gone?
Executive Order L207 shut down all mines that didn't produce a high enough percentage of copper, lead, and zinc to help the war effort. That included 99% of the mines in this region.
Silver plume specifically too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And anyway, that also closed all of our about 6 or 8 inches wide in the deeper part of the mine, but they're almost all shattered.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's another big one right there. The reason this stuff is called fool's gold is not because there's no gold with it. That wasn't really the association back in the day. As far as I can tell, this is called fool's gold to old miners because the fools talked about it and the miners just crushed it up.
Gotcha.
Kind of, sort of thing. Anyway, it was more of a cultural frustration with trying to explain the science behind this to each other rather than the fact that it was for fools, as far as I can.
This is freaking awesome, man. Love it.
To create an underground mine since the 1640s, people have drilled holes and blasted. Up until about 1900, one of the best ways to do that, the drilling at least, was by hand with hammers and chisels. It was a fairly slow process, but it also killed the workers fairly slowly. A big problem with drilling back before they added water to the drilling process was that the fine dust produced by drilling would enter the miner's lungs and turn their lungs into scar tissue. So people who drilled by hand would generally experience problems with breathing in about 10 to 20 years time. And yeah, anyway, you would take a drill steel, pick a spot on the wall, later compressed air. But yeah, miners called them widow makers pretty quickly because the extra dust they produced by cutting faster kill you in 3 to 6 months of work.
Unbelievable.
Some people lived about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yep, and there's kind of a thought that that's where America's association with. And miners call the straight one without a hinge in the middle a stope hammer.
Stope hammer?
Yep, because we're
Nice.
working vertically and generally that's stoping.
Yeah.
Yep. These took over after child labor laws were introduced. Before they had the assumption that all the operators were going to be old enough to handle the weighted tools like this, it was more popular to have column-mounted drills because you could just set it up and have holes would take 2 hours to go forward.
Wow.
The magic here is to drill a grid of holes, and in the center you've got these holes that are closely spaced together. These are the pressure relief, the burn that's going to open up space so you can gradually break the rock apart. You have to leave at least one hole open, and by detonating the first explosives near that open hole, you fracture the rock and give the pressure somewhere to go other than lifting the heavy explosives back out of the hole. So you break the rock in the center of the wall, and then you work out from there.
So we're looking up into a stope in the Phoenix gold mine. That is absolutely awesome.
If you look down here, you can see the backfill stope. So we excavated the last one you guys saw so that you could actually see into it, but this is how they look in kind of. Another really cool thing in here are these ore chutes. These are original to the mine because they had no reason to remove them. They're wood, no scrap value. And down here, it's the right environment. They don't really rot. So this is 1927. This was all put in here.
Beautiful.
So it looks pretty much brand new.
Original saw marks on him.
Yeah.
Look at that saw marks right there.
Faint text you see on there. This is supposed to be the number 4.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of blowing it out there.
Oh yeah, I see it real good.
4.
That's
Yeah.
written with the soot from their acetylene headlamps from burning carbide.
Nice.
And that timber you see broken up there, that was broken by a shock wave when we blasted down a big slab of rock that used to be behind you guys.
Oh
over here.
my God.
So that's not from the mountain move. It's not natural. That was not to lock your knees, right?
Yeah.
Because I've literally had people lock their knees in here, almost faint and blame it on paranormal experience. And then I had a little girl about 7 years old lock her knees. I said something scary. She looked up really fast and she just went down like a cartoon. And she only avoided hitting the pointy rock of doom because she was short, 7 years old. So anyway,
Oh man.
don't faint or I'm not even going to look what's happening. I'm just going to go down with you. That's why I give you the warning.
All right.
You guys ready for the big reveal?
Absolutely.
All right, well, you can do your own drum roll as you need it.
All right.
You gotta hold your jaws up off the floor, but ta-da!
Oh my God, dude.
It gets even better over here by the light switch, so you might have to steal my spot there. You guys can see it right there.
So sparkly.
So we're only looking at one part of this pillar. It's kind of like a domino when you're looking at one of the skinny faces of it.
Look at that.
But there's 20 tons in this pillar here.
20 tons in that pillar.
Yep. And there's 3 ounces to the ton in this material.
3 ounces a ton.
Yep, so 60 ounces worth of gold in that pillar in front of you there.
I'm looking at $180,000 worth of gold.
Yep.
Roughly right now.
Over here.
You guys need help removing it?
Maybe. It's kind of worthless though.
That's okay.
It's still fun. But yeah, we break this apart with expanding concrete to get it out of here. This used to be a great big mound of rock, and these are little ore we found through it. Ready?
Yeah, so we're gonna go dark.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oops, I did that too. I did the countdown too fast. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dark. It's quiet. I'd sleep good back here.
Oh man. Heck yeah.
What are you filming, man? Black? Okay.
Daisy.
Nice.
Yeah, like right there, and you could see the
Intentional,
4.
they're counting the loads, but almost looks like a little flower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where we were just at up in Victor, they put knot.
And then in this region, our gold veins formed from around, I think they were telling me, like, oh geez, what were they saying? It was a long time. Call hot spring is after all. Mineral solutions. Look at this. But yeah, so another kind of illustration of how these veins kind of travel and how this all works. We're what, 25 feet away from where I just showed you the vein? 30 feet?
Yep.
You look behind you here, hidden in plain sight, you see this big blue streak on the wall?
Uh-huh.
Ta-da! That's the next gold vein we have to work here. This is the resurrection vein, and you're looking at 3 to 5 ounces of gold to the ton, and 200 pounds of copper to the ton. So that rock is 10% copper. Just looking at core samples, this is that last vein you guys saw through a microscope. This is not terribly zoomed in. From one side of the image to the other here is 1/100th of an inch.
Wow.
So it's 11 inches wide. Okay. It's a ball mill. That ball mill can crush about 20 tons a day.
Damn.
So pretty substantial. And just for reference, most of the mills in Colorado are between 200 and 300 tons to wash arsenopyrite out of their clothing. So in Australia and other places of the world, they mine for arsenic to turn into cockroach and rat poison. And if you get the ore dust in your clothing and sweat too much, you can leach the arsenic into your body and die.
Hey.
Unpleasant, right?
Yay.
So people look for ways to solve that problem and clean it out of their clothes and off their skin. And along the line, somebody figured out that caffeine with fatty soap could scrub that out of your clothing. And the English and other governments tax caffeine. So through studying their citizens' purchase of caffeine and what they were doing with it, the English basically figured out that they could use caffeine to float sulfide minerals out of crushed ore. They called their magical chemical as xanthates, that you wouldn't know what they were using if you were.
This is fun for kids, man.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
And people who know what they're doing, if you come back in the summertime, we've got a panning area that's below the public area down here.
Okay.
You can sluice box down there. We even rent out sluice boxes if
Awesome.
your family don't have one. But there's that kind of non-public area
It's
there.
all little
where there's
fine gold like
this,
right
and
there.
There's also the public area up here, and if you actually bother to dig down a foot or so, there's literally gold like this in our creek.
Absolutely.
Dude,
Yeah.
look at all that.
Incredible.
Nice.
This little gold pan area right here at the Phoenix Gold Mine.
Awesome. Thank you for the tour, Gabe.
You're welcome.
Woohoo.
Thanks for coming.
You
Yes,
guys have a
sir.
good time. Come up here to the Phoenix Gold Mine right outside Idaho Springs. Place is
Absolutely
awesome.
amazing. You love it, man. Okay. Tiny little door here.
Say hey, Dave. Doing good. That was awesome. Great tour.
Yes, sir.
So, anything you want to know about that tour or about the mine?
I am shocked with the resurrection. That is unbelievable.
Guys, this is absolutely amazing. Been up here many times before, but I've never been able to go into the Phoenix Gold Mine, and today was the day. Super freaking stoked. Got Braden and Tim up here in the car, and we're not done. We're gonna go to the next spot, and yeah, Phoenix Gold Mine, bucket lister, baby. Hey, I'm filming here.
Should we?